The power of positive self-talk.
Absolutely. And the idea of when chunking up mentally and chunking down can be really useful. That's what we're going to be chatting about today.
In this week's episode of
Get Real with the
English Sisters, Violetta and
Jutka.
Zugo. Hello everyone. Thank you for your lovely comments.
Very, very much appreciated.
Very
Thank
much
you so
appreciated. And thank you also for subscribing to our podcast and to our YouTube channel. Positive self-talk is especially necessary when you're feeling a little bit down, I think.
Yeah.
When you're not feeling really optimistic.
So you have to give yourself your own pep talk in a way.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I had to do that to myself the
Did
other
you?
day. Yeah. Because I suddenly felt, because I was waiting to see the doctor, and normally I always go with my husband. But he said, all right, I'm just going to go down and check the car, because he had to check for the parking meter. And I go, no, don't go, because I bet you I'll be called in just at the moment when you go. And I was. And I thought, this is so ridiculous. But I suddenly became overwhelmed. I almost felt teary because I was I got this sudden fear of walking into the doctor's office by myself.
You felt vulnerable.
I felt vulnerable because I've had past, bad experiences there where I've had these diagnoses and everything. And I was all of a sudden, I felt so vulnerable. So that's when I actually had to say to myself, stop it, Jutka. You are a strong, confident woman. I mean, I actually told myself that as I was walking through the car. You're a really strong, confident woman. This is ridiculous. You can do this. Be strong. Be strong. And I walked in, I opened the door, and I felt instantly better. And I was confident to be able to say, hello, buongiorno, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, oh, why are you on your own today? And then I explained it. She's just gone to check the car. And it was all fine. And I thought, there you go. I can deal with this. I can do it. But I actually had to give myself that little talk.
Well, I think that's what's so mind-boggling. It's not mind-boggling, but that's what's so...
We
always expect ourselves to be like robots, not to realise what's going on with our bodies or our minds, and just to think... not to think about it and not to have to do this, not to have to give ourselves a pep talk.
Not to have to feel that vulnerability, because I thought, I've been doing this for years now. I should be okay with it. Why am I feeling vulnerable?
No, that's not it. What I was thinking, I wasn't referring to that. What I was referring to is that even if you are feeling vulnerable, a lot of people, before we were therapists, we didn't realise that we had to kind of change our mental state and think, okay, what am I going to do that's more helpful to me? If I'm thinking, oh no, I don't want to go in on my own, I might get bad news.
Yeah.
I might get something, horrible's going to happen. And you start getting worked up and feeling overwhelmed. Well, then you're just going to get into that state of mind and emotions, and you don't know how to change it.
No.
Here we're giving you the tools to be able to change it and to say, yes, you can be more assertive. You can change your state of mind by thinking more positive thoughts.
Yes.
Like what you did. You said, it's okay. I'm a strong woman.
I thought, it's okay. I know why I'm feeling vulnerable. Yeah. I know why. Because I've had experiences in the past that have led me to feel this way. However, it's fine. Because for a few seconds, I felt like a child. All of a sudden, mummy's gone, help, and I thought, what kind of feeling is this? I was tearing up. So if I'd allowed myself to just continue with this frenzied thought, the thoughts would have transferred into physical emotions, because that's what happens to thoughts. They pop up and they transfer into your body, and you can become, you can actually physically start crying or become very upset, etc. So I thought, no, stop this on its tracks. This is not who I am now. I'm strong. I can do this. Go on, do it. And I did it. And when I came out, I felt proud. And I thought, there you go. I did it. And I spoke and I told the doctor everything I need, almost everything I needed to say, because I always feel so... I've got this thing like with doctors, it's like I don't want them to spend too much time on me because I know how rushed they are and everything, but that's something I have to work through.
You're very considerate with for their time, but you do have to work through it because you're very succinct anyway. It's not as if you're going to spend an hour in there.
I try and be as fast as I can, but it's obviously important that I go, so I have to do it. But anyway, that in that particular situation, I felt... And also the other day I had to go and renew my driving license. And there I was thinking, no, it's dark time. It's dark time. It's like night time. There's no way I'm going out now. I'm not going out.
It's cold.
So I tried to get my husband. I go, would you fancy coming with me? Just popping out to the driving school there. I just need to renew it. And the doctor's there now so he can do my eye test. He said, no way in hell am I coming now. I've just got back. And he was like a bit grumpy. And I thought, why am I trying to force him? I can do this.
You can do it.
I can do it. So there again, I had to like psych myself up and think, what on earth are you moaning about, women? You know, it was hard enough to get these driving license, like 30 years ago when I got it. And I thought now I should just be proud to just go and renew it. And I have the privilege to be able to renew it. Yeah. What am I moaning about? So in the end, I did it. And once again, I felt confident again.
So you gave yourself another positive self-talk.
Very much.
And very, proactive.
It was proactive. I had to actually push myself because there was so many reasons why I was saying it's dark. Or it's started to rain now. It's horrible. I won't find the parking. Yeah. I have to go on my own. It's not even my car. I have to drive my husband's car. Which I'm used to the automatic drive now.
I think that's what we don't realise. We don't realise that sometimes we do need to push ourselves out of that comfort zone. Obviously, when it's okay to do so, don't put yourself in any danger or anything. But when you can. When you feel as if you could do it, but all these fears and anxieties are coming, just towards you and enveloping you like a cloud, a fog. Then you can think no, and you can switch it around by just maybe clicking your fingers or clapping your hands and saying, no, I am going to give myself a good, positive self-talk now. And then maybe you can go back to a time when you did feel really confident, because most of us, there's usually one time in our lives that we've had a little bit of confidence or more confidence. And you can go back to that time quickly in your mind and just think, yes, I can do it.
I did that and I did that and I did that.
Like what you did. You went back to how difficult it was for you to learn to drive and get your driving test in the first place. Yeah.
And have to do it all in Italian. I thought, I did that. Now am I just going to be stupid and not go and... I've got an opportunity. I was free that day.
Yeah.
So I thought another day I might be really busy and not be able to go. So that took some talking. But what I mean is, don't take it for granted that you're going to have to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
And because imagine it happens to us and we're therapists. So you would think, oh, surely they would know that. Yeah, we know it, but we
come into our minds, don't they? We're not robots.
But we're not, no, and we do. We feel vulnerable, we feel frightened, we feel anxious, and so you've got to think about why, understand yourself, and you can help yourself by understanding yourself as well. And you can think, well, I know why you might be feeling vulnerable right now. Like what I said to myself. I was kind to yourself. I was kind. Yeah. I didn't have much time to be kind. I thought I'll be kind later. Now I just need to step up and go for it, woman. You can do it. It was more like that.
Yeah, it was more of a...
Because I've undergone much scarier things than that, for goodness sake.
Absolutely.
That was nothing.
No, but sometimes it's fun. It's curious to see how these little things that you would think are nothing and they're just,
standard.
There's nothing out of the ordinary, and that you should be, you can beat yourself up because you might think, well, I could do that. What kind of person would be able to do that? Why am I feeling like this? Why am I just tearing up over something that's so ridiculous? Well,
It's normal to
It's
feel
normal
like
to
that.
feel like that.
There
And
was
it's
a lady
normal
at the
to
dentist the
feel-
other day. She was saying, "Why am I so scared?" And I thought, I said to her, "È normale."
Yeah.
And she said, "Really, è normale?" I go, "Of course." She said, "Are you scared?" I go, "Yeah." I go, I don't think we'd be normal if we were totally not scared. There's a part of us that is scared, and we're just hopeful that everything is going to be okay. But to what degree are you scared? That's the difference here. Because it's normal not wanting to have somebody poking around in your mouth. And there's always that slight, but to what degree and how you manage to mentally cope with it, that's the
Yes.
difference, I think.
I do think that's the difference, because my husband had a terrible experience at the dentist recently, and he went
poor
in
thing.
feeling quite good about it, and he came out saying it's the worst thing he's ever experienced in his whole life.
God, yeah, I
So,
forgot about that.
I mean-
Poor thing.
That's what I mean. It's normal to be fearful a little bit, but then you know, can you manage to stay calm enough to allow the dentist to work on you and help you? But, you know, and you
Yes.
hope that you'll get enough anaesthetic and
Well, you just
Or
have
you
to,
hope that
there,
the
once
dentist
again,
will
you have to
listen.
say, okay, yes, I may be feeling frightened. It's normal for me
It's
to be
normal.
frightened because my body is protecting me, my brain is protecting me. But then again, I am thankful that I have a nice dentist that can help me, or a nice doctor that can help me with this problem. Because how horrible would it be if you had to suffer through pain of having an infected tooth or something horrible like that? So I think a little bit of gratitude helps there as well. Like I was telling the lady, aren't we lucky though to have this nice studio? She was sort of thinking, not really. I could see she was like terrified. And then I explained to her that my experiences were always okay in that particular studio. So I was calming her down as well. But
you did help her. Yeah, sometimes it's nice just to take a deep breath as well and acknowledge your thoughts and just say, are these thoughts being helpful to me right now? And if they are, you know, good. But if they're not, you can say, well, I'm going to change these thoughts.
yeah, you have to recognize that thoughts do turn into emotions, and emotions will show up physically. So if you're having thoughts of you being terrified, thoughts that are making you feel scared and wanting to just, you know, that's not going to be helpful in that particular moment, because they're going to make you, you know, actually react to them. So having
react physically.
So if you have thoughts that can calm you down and make you feel empowered, then you'll walk into that meeting or into that doctor's room or into whatever's scaring you at the moment much differently.
Well, it's also thoughts, but it can also be your body language. If you change your body language, you can change your thoughts, can't you? By like assuming
what
like
you
a
said,
power pose,
clapping, or suddenly
Yes.
changing it
Sort of
around.
like snapping out of it.
Yes, standing up, having a little walk, going to get a glass of water. Little simple things like that can be helpful as well, because they take you out of that state of mind. And as we were saying last time,
spiraling
with the anchors, where the anchoring is going on, like literally, like me, I was on that chair feeling really vulnerable. So I stood up and I said, that's enough now. I went hovering around the coffee machine. And I thought, I'll be called soon and I'll be confident and calm. And then there was a part of me saying, oh no, call your husband, tell him to come back, you know, call George. And I said, no, I can do this. This is fine. I can do it.
I know.
But, you know, and I was still quite surprised to see that reaction going on inside me.
You were.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was, but obviously
Well,
there's
I
a
suppose
reason
it's
for it.
curious to actually notice it, because most of us don't actually know what's going on in our minds, do we?
No, it
It
happens
just
quickly.
happens all by itself without us realizing what's actually going on. So if you can catch it,
Yeah, I caught it and I saw the whole thing like in slow motion. I thought, no way am I going to do that. This is not going to happen now. I am strong and confident. Get away. You can feel those feelings afterwards if you want, in the car on the way home, I thought. But you'll be feeling stronger. Yeah, the whole thing went on. Like,
Like a movie.
Yeah, well, I thought I am very spoiled, and I'm lucky to always have somebody come with me, you know.
Yes, but it is advisable, isn't it, when you've got a doctor's appointment
Yeah.
that's going to be a bit tricky when you don't know what the diagnosis is going to be.
Yeah, it's
Because
definitely
a lot of the
advisable.
times you can't remember half of what the doctor said.
That's true. That is true. That's an actual thing that goes on when you when you enter. You think, what did they say? And you, because you're like overwhelmed with feelings.
Well,
once
you have
again.
to let yourself go. You have to become very vulnerable. You have to tell them what's going on. Then you have to, sometimes you have to get a checkup or a visit, and you have to, be in somebody else's hands completely. And if you're lucky that you have someone that you know and you trust, it becomes a lot easier. But
Much
when it's
easier.
someone new or like a hospital visit or someone,
And lots of times there are lots of different doctors, aren't there?
it
they're
can
like
be very
teams.
overwhelming, can't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I wanted to make this all about doctors, because it can be about anything.
No, it can be
really.
about exams or a job
Exactly,
interview,
yeah,
or
this is-
even like going food shopping. You become overwhelmed because you don't know what to buy, or you don't know what to make, or you're trying to be healthy.
God, my
It
younger
it
son
can
was
be
actually
about
saying
anything.
that. He was saying, Mum, how do you
When you're
organise
overworked.
meals all the time? What do you think about, how do you make all the, like when we were little, Mum, how did you do it? Because he's living on his own now, and he thinks, I just find it so overwhelming to think of something to eat every night when I go home.
Exactly.
And I thought, I know, it's like weird, isn't it? You go, how do you do it? And I go, I guess you just think of little meals. And just sort of think of them in your head, and then
You have a meal plan, don't you?
well, he said that sounds really hard.
It's intense, but once you get like my daughter was saying she couldn't have a meal plan. In the end, I said, "Yeah, it's really hard." And then the next day she
She did
produced
one, yeah.
and she said, "Okay, I'm going to have make soup, make chicken, make this, and then prepare her meals." Like last night, she got home and she was starving, but she was lucky because she'd made herself some lentil soup the night before.
So she had enough.
So, or at the weekend, I can't remember. So she had enough to eat, and so then she stopped at the supermarket and she bought some eggs, and she had that with eggs and some bread, and it was sorted. But otherwise, when you've had a busy day working and then you go home, and especially when you're not used to it, as mums, you get more and more used to doing it, and it becomes like part of an unconscious process where you might not even be thinking about it much.
You just grab some stuff,
and you've got things in the house that you can just make.
Yeah, protein and healthy stuff and whatever. But yeah, even that can become. He was just telling me, I don't know, I haven't got the mental energy to think about it. I said, well, what have you got in the house?
And then you get really hungry, and then you just tend to scoff.
Yeah, or just order pizza again or something again.
Or order something to take in now that you can have all this in stuff.
Well, yeah. It's not as much in the little villages, but it's coming.
They order quite a lot, don't they?
Not really, no.
No, they used to.
No, he says it's not. That doesn't work that well in his little village. They used to more here, which paradoxically, we're in the countryside as well, but they seem to be more efficient around here. Oh, well, I mean, efficient. They bring pizza. That's it. That's the only thing you can order.
Don't they bring out burgers and things?
Burgers? Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I remember you telling me.
Yeah,
that one
maybe.
Of your sons had ordered a burger.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't order them, so I wouldn't know. But anyway, so it's part of sort of preparing yourself for these things as well, isn't it? Thinking about it.
Yeah, being nice to yourself, acknowledging, and then giving yourself a little prep talk. I mean, like when I was fed up of going to the supermarket, for instance, because we'd done so much shopping for our mum as well when she wasn't well. I just couldn't cope with it anymore. And then I used to have to quickly do a reset and tell myself off kind of thing and say, no, Violetta, you're lucky
and privileged.
You're privileged because you've got, you can go to the supermarket, you can afford to buy the things. You don't have to be scrounging and scrimping and thinking, what can I lucky. So stop being like...
lucky,
stop being
you.
silly kind of thing. Yeah. Just go and do it. And I would give myself this positive self-talk, and I would say, okay, and then afterwards I'm going to go and get myself a coffee, And I would give myself all this like encouragement in my mind, and then it would make things better and it would make things easier, because obviously it's not just about the supermarket in the end. We all have things going on in the background. Like we had our
Yes,
parents that
yeah.
weren't sick, or you might have someone, you might not be feeling well yourself. So in the end, it's like all these layers, a bit like an
Chores, yeah.
onion that you
Yeah,
peel. So
yeah.
you think, oh,
What's
why?
wrong with
Yeah,
me?
why
What's
can't
wrong
I
with
do
me?
any of this
Why
stuff?
am
It's
I
so
vulnerable?
easy.
Why am I scared? What's
Yeah.
wrong with me? No, you have good reasons
Yeah.
to be scared or vulnerable. You have them.
Yeah.
You can accept them and,
You
and,
acknowledge
and,
them.
and acknowledge them. But at the same time, when you need to be proactive, that's when you can get that talk in, and it can be so helpful.
Yeah, and you can do positive self-talk. You can do a quick reframe, just changing how you're viewing something, like the supermarket thing. You view it as being grateful, being having gratitude
Privilege.
for privilege.
Same with the dentist. You think, well,
dentist,
aren't I
yes.
lucky to be
Yeah.
able to be visited because my tooth hurts and I want to be seen? Or so if you start going in that with that mental mindset, that's going to be so much more helpful than just thinking, I'm scared. Am I going to feel pain? Stop it. I'm lucky. I'm privileged. I have a doctor who can see me. How many people in the
Yeah,
world
I have
might not be able to
healthcare.
have access to this? So when you change it quickly
up.
like that, it can be really helpful. And it's fast.
It's quick.
Works fast. A few seconds, that's all it takes. Nobody needs to see what you're doing.
No, you can just do it all inside
Quickly
your
and
mind.
quietly.
Otherwise, you can set yourself a positive anchor, like by squeezing two fingers together. And you can say, every time you squeeze your fingers, you can set it up by like closing your eyes, not if you're driving, please. You can close your eyes and you can, I'm just thinking, if you're
Squeeze
driving,
your
turn this podcast off.
Oh, yes.
But you can do this. So you can close your eyes and then you can squeeze your fingers together, and you can
That's your
visualize
index and your thumb.
any
Any
finger
little-
that you
yeah.
like, or your hands and form a little heart or whatever you want, anything like that. And then you can visualize a time in your life when you were feeling extremely confident and calm, and you can take 2 or 3 deep breaths and bring that into your body, close to your heart. And then when you open your eyes, you will have changed. Your state of mind will be one of positivity and gratitude.
Wonderful. Wow, thank you so much for listening. It's
And
been lovely chatting.
it has been lovely, and it's, as we always say, it's always beneficial to us, and as sisters we do enjoy each other's company. I think
Yes.
that's why we're a little bit spoiled as well of doing things on our own.
We are very spoiled because
Because we're
normally we
nearly
go
always
together.
So thank you so much. Our podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you feel that this podcast is helping you, you could consider supporting the show, and that's all available wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you so much. Lots of love and smiles from the English sisters. Bye.
Bye.